How your morning going?
You play soccer. That's job.
Well, if you're gonna ask,
I'm saying, might as well. Might as well
I
tell
went
me.
out last night with two girlfriends to have dinner at two urban licks. The valet lost my key.
I want you to take extra special care of this vehicle. Okay?
Hey, no problem.
Great.
You fellas have nothing to worry about. I'm a professional.
Our 10-year-old granddaughter, who is affectionately known as the real estate kid, she can talk about real estate to anybody.
I'm 10 years old, but when I was 8 years old, I really wanted a Lego set.
But he'd have to pay for it with his own money.
I started my own lemonade stand. I made $900 after expenses, and yes, I got my Lego Death Star.
So she actually sold, she found India the condo.
What?
And the one she picked, India, love. Every month, she's calling us like, did my bank statement come in?
Yeah.
Because she wants to see how much money her money made.
Yeah.
20, 40,000, 3 million, $18, $40 million.
Be disciplined, be focused, everything.
Let me tell you something. With this episode of this podcast,
my episode, we gotta do an episode with me?
We already shot it.
Really?
This whole conversation.
No way!
You owe money to sit at the head of your table.
Good morning. How you doing?
The head of your life.
So
then you have to consult
Shaniqua?
them.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Good.
My name is
God,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. You want a golf ridge?
Yeah.
Tell
Cool,
you what
cool,
you have to
cool.
do. You got to work an extra job. You got to work 2 extra jobs. You can't go on a vacation.
How your morning going?
You play soccer. That's job.
Well, if you're gonna ask,
I'm saying, might as well. Might as well tell
I
me.
went out last night with two girlfriends to have dinner at two urban licks. The valet lost my key.
What?
I had to Uber home. I get up this morning to get ready to leave and realize I don't have my car.
Oh, you forgot.
I forgot I didn't have my car. My husband's like, "Where you going?" I was like, "To the office." He's like, and then I guess it hit him too. He's like, "I'm about to take you." I'm like, "Why?"
Right.
Yeah. I am.
That's crazy. So what's gonna happen? They got to come up
They
there.
gonna have, and the interesting part, my car is in the shop. I'm in a rental car, so I have 2 keys to my car because my husband would.
Oh, they lost the key to the rental.
They lost the one key.
The one key to the rental. Wow.
Well, you're gonna have to make your way. It's a nice little restaurant over. It's on the Beltline. Have you been to the Beltline?
Yes.
Been here? Yeah. It's one of the many restaurants on Beltline.
Okay. That's Pond City Market, right?
Right up the street from Pond City Market.
Okay. All right.
Same.
Okay. Cool. All right. You ain't gotta tell me twice. All right.
What brings you to Atlanta?
So I do music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to get into acting. And so I'm gonna have my girlfriend and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So my girlfriend does business consulting / social media. She's a business consultant / social media strategist. So she has a couple clients down here. So we've been trying to make this move for like 3 years, but we were also like running an Airbnb business back in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of very hands on with that. Then once we pivoted and she got the clients down here, I was like, all right, I think that's our time to go ahead and make the move.
I love that.
And plus, she's from Philly, and my daughter was living in Jersey. So I was like, all right, we need to figure out what we're doing because I'm not trying to be no video dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be in her life every day. So,
Good.
you know.
Well, I'm also a business consultant.
Okay.
I do real estate. So if you guys haven't bought a home yet, I'll give you a call when I get to my office.
Okay.
But I do small business. I also own the tax and accounting firm. So I do business consulting in the sense of helping people figure out how to be structured.
Okay.
We do our business all about how do you create, but not just create wealth or generational wealth. How do you preserve it? How do you pass it down? Some people got the first part figured out. They know how to make the money.
Yeah.
You know how to keep the money. And most people only think about taxes in the context of their life.
Yeah.
But you don't think about how we protect it. We would pass it down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we need that. How long you been in the industry?
20.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So you do taxes as well, or you just, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a whole tax firm. It's the 23rd year in the business. Long time.
You getting
Trying to
to
get
it.
my kids to take over. My granddaughter who's at the house, I guess our only hope is her taking over.
I only. So all right. So how many kids you got?
So we have 4 total. My husband and I, we have a blended family.
That was your husband that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
We got 3 girls and a boy. And we have 3 granddaughters.
Okay. What's the ages of the kids?
So
Your
our
kids.
daughter, so my oldest daughter is 30.
Okay.
And she'll be 30, and I feel old even saying that. She will be 30 in March, this March.
Okay.
And so then we have
my birthday in March too.
28. And so my bonus son is 28. So we got 2 28 girls. And our youngest daughter is 26.
Okay.
Who's also into music. My husband is into music as well. No more. He stepped back. He's got his real estate license, so he has his business hat on now. But
Yeah.
my husband's Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
Our very good friends, or people in the industry, like India. We saw India.
Brown
lives in Douglasville. India lives in Douglasville, which is where we lived for years.
Okay.
And so India, we sold her house back in 2015. She moved to Nashville. And so she called my husband. It's like, I'm ready to come back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So our 10-year-old granddaughter, who is affectionately known with the real estate kid, she can talk about real estate to anybody. She's been around real estate.
The 10-year-old?
Our 10-year-old.
Let's go.
And actually, I need to talk to your fiance because I want to get her a podcast, and I hate social media. She's been around real estate since she was born, so we take her to every closing. She's been at since birth. My mom got pregnant in college. Okay. So we had the right idea to have a baby. Okay. I don't know what we could have been thinking. But she is them with us. So y'all basically took over. Basically. Yeah. And she won't leave now. Like even her mommy, they moved out the house. And so she's crying now because normally she's homeschooled, so she goes to the office with me every day. Okay. I'm like, well, you can't go to the office with me today. She's crying in there now because my husband just told her he's gonna take her home. And she's like, no, Papa, this is my home. I don't want to leave. And her mom can't say that. Like, her mom was like, amen. And so I try to keep the balance where her mom doesn't be trying to, take over or overstep. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, y'all giving her game, man. She's this little girl. And so she got pictures, but I tell you, this little girl, and everybody knows her, like, she is affectionately known as the birthday kid. Okay, so, like, that's so dope. Her clothes with India called my husband. She's like, well, make sure the grandbaby's with you. So she found India the condo. What? And so my grandbaby will get online. She has all the home apps on there. Yeah. So she said, my husband, she's like, I think Miss India like these. And so they listened to her. So India's like, let's do it. Let's go look at it. And the one she picked, India loved. Oh yeah. I say love. And that's so dope. So how y'all doing her commission? Like, what's that like? So she get so we have our closing attorney pay her. So she goes to most closings. We started having a couple years ago the closing attorneys write her check, and if whatever closing attorney won't write her check, we'll have the closing attorney. Well, we'll write her check because she has different things that she has to do. Right? Okay. So she has to when we're there. Yeah, if you could. I don't know if you're there. It's telling me to go straight. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But so and after her, she gets her money and she understands what compound interest is. So she goes to her credit union and she deposits her money. Yeah. And what I love about her, which is why I want her to have a YouTube video page. Every month she's calling us like, did my bank statement come in? Yeah. Because she wants to see how much money her money made. Yeah. And I tell people that's the real game because we sit around and we only talk about the money being made, but the truth matter is you don't spend the money you make, you spend the money your money makes. Yeah. And so she's like, did my bank statement come? So we don't open her mail. Yeah. And so when she comes to the house, if it's there, we'll go through it together. All she's looking at is how much increase she's had. Wow, that's amazing. So I love it. But yeah, she is. Shout out to y'all. And so our brokerage is named after her. So our brokerage is Perry Mitchell Realty. We named her after my husband's brother who passed away in 2010. So her name is Kamaya Perry K. Okay. And so she comes into the brokerage and she's like, and she knows it. She's like, this is mine. Yeah. And to me, that's what legacy. So that's who you was talking about when you said leaving it to your grandkid. You talking about her? Yeah, because our kids. We like, get your real estate license. Nobody want to get their real estate license. We're like, okay, well, learn the taxes. They'll come in if they want you to make money. Yeah. Quick money. Yeah. But they ain't trying to stay in there and see, like, I'm going to take this over. I think it's better, though, because you guys are raising and grooming her super early. Yeah. Where it's already embedded, and she's not sidetracked about all the other things your kids are already, Our kids are spoiled because I'll even say before I married, I was a single parent. And so I did my kids are super spoiled.
You look like a hustler.
I've had,
Yeah,
I've
you
been a parent since 17 years old.
yeah. You look like you get to it,
So
yeah.
I've had no choice, but I
Okay.
wanted to make sure, for one, because I was a teenage mother, that I was never a statistic. So it just made me just have to driving in circles.
Yeah.
But my daughters, are very spoiled. They thought they were rich growing up, and we were not by no stretch of the imagination. But I did make sure they had everything that they wanted.
Okay.
So because they grew up like that, they didn't really. So I had a house cleaner. They made their bed. So certain things they didn't get, and I regret that in hindsight.
Yeah.
I would never.
They was rich.
Advise.
They was rich.
Yeah, they were
It's true. They
didn't know how much I had to work for that money.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all just go to school. I don't want y'all to worry about, because I'm trying to give them something that's so completely opposite of what my life was.
Exactly.
But, there was no balance there. I was on the other extreme. I grew up on the other extreme. My kids grew up on the other
And because
extreme
you
of
went
that.
through that, you were like, my kids will never have to deal with that, which really, like you said, hinders them in a way because they grow up thinking,
Because what we think is we're giving them something, but we have to remember the things we went through when we were kids. I don't know how but things I went
I'm
through
37.
created in me something that these kids today are absolutely missing. They don't know how to critically think. They don't know. My oldest daughter who's 30, she calls me for everything. And I love it because, I'm that mother, but I'm like, chick, if you don't figure this stuff out, what would you do if I wasn't here? And then my youngest daughter, I had to force her to start making her, and she has a daughter now. She used to call me to ask me to make the doctor's appointments, not just for my granddaughter, but for her as well.
Oh, yeah.
I said, no, ma'am, I will not make another doctor's appointment. You just
No.
won't see a doctor if
You
you wait for me to
know what
make
I'm saying?
I need you to know.
You ever thought about, not answering the phone?
No.
I know. You the problem.
Yes.
You the problem, but to this day, you the problem.
This is true.
You gotta
and with this granddaughter, last night, I went out and this girl does everything with us, and so it's interesting because I'm at 50 right now.
Yeah, you look amazing though.
And so I don't know what it looks like to do stuff without kids, husband, grandkids.
Yeah.
So this last year has been crazy because my husband's like, I don't know who you are. And I was like, good, because I don't know who I am either.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out.
And he's like, I don't know how that works. You a married woman trying to figure out who you are. I'm like, well, you just got to give me some grace and be patient. So, but my granddaughter, because she's so used to being with us and traveling, when I was leaving last year, she would break down and start crying. And she's like, no, don't leave me. But she's super spoiled too. So last night she wanted to come to dinner. And so she convinces my husband. He's like, this child's a rich kid. I'm like, now this is your fault now. So she convinces him to take her to some sushi place. And I know the sushi place they went to, and it's not inexpensive. And she's sitting there. She's like, I just want sushi. And I'm like, who? At 10 o'clock at night, who does that? Who gets a chance to sit? The other night, I had a meeting. So he ends up taking her to Longhorns. I said, what steak you get? She's like, the filet. And I only order the flow filet.
That outlaw ribeye at Longhorn is so fire. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's my favorite. I ain't go that. Let me get that outlaw ribeye, please. Let me get that medium. I need that.
So the difference with her, though, than what I didn't do with the kids, we absolutely make her what she gets ties into something else.
Yeah.
So she has to do something. We'll give her anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she does it in a way that even if it's something we don't get to it, eventually she'll figure out how to get to it.
Yeah.
She asked me the other day when I invested her, she wants to buy a bike, the food bike for the belt line for this summer.
Okay.
And it has fries, and my daughter's an amazing cook. So she asked me, she's like, I need $27,000. It's only $27,000. I was like, well, did you write a business plan? No. I need your help doing that. So I'm not giving you nothing else. I said, because I need you to not be so fighty. I need to know if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it. So you have skin in the game. Give me some money. You got $5 grand. You know I ain't got $5 grand. Okay, well I can't give you 20. Yeah. It's only 20. I'm like, only 27,000, really?
Yeah.
A year I had last year, you would not be saying that. Only 27,000. I said, I get it. That's not a lot of money, but you got to come up with some of it.
Yeah.
So last night, she called me to tell me that she sent me the plan for the bike because you have to come to make it. Okay. And I was like, oh, you got the plan for the bike? She's like, yeah. She's like, and I got funding. And I don't know what that means. I said, okay, I'm at a dinner. I said, let's talk tonight. So she even got a substantial amount.
Yeah.
You did not have to give her the whole amount.
Go get that business funded. Do it the right. Other people's money.
So this grandbaby of ours, we try to be a little bit more intentional with her,
Yeah.
having to do something to get something.
No, that's fine because you learned the way that you wanted to do it. You had a great plan as far as like the way you wanted to raise your kids and not have them go through the same struggles and obstacles you probably had to overcome. To being like, maybe I should have, you know, we you know what I mean? Yeah, you treated
Grandparent
her.
is completely different, and I never understood that until. But whoever said it is right. All the mistakes you made on your kids,
Yeah, you
it's
get
bound to happen because you don't get a manual with it, right? You get a chance to redo if you're blessed enough to have grandbabies.
Yeah, man. I think that's so dope. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely I'll get your information before you get out, so that way you can talk to my girl. Cause my girl, so I'm actually launching my podcast tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
want.
and it's called Rideshare Confessionals. So while I'm out here doing Uber and Lyft, look, just how we're genuinely having this conversation, I'm like, yo, I'm missing out on some crazy content that I don't even have to think about it being your traditional, interview type podcast. We're gonna have this conversation with or without this camera right here, right? So number one, of course, I got the camera because I need to be safe in here while I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from here. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, a couple of weeks ago, I had picked up this lady and she basically had told me like, she's like, yo, you see my life. She was like telling me her story and she's writing a book about her life and the things she overcame and she went through, she's still going through. And she's like, you give me hope to like live for another day. And I was like, another day? I said, no days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, your story not for you, it's for somebody else.
Absolutely.
So as I'm talking to her, I go tell my homeboy later on, he like, Joe, you need to get a dash cam because you always be motivating me and inspiring me to, get my kids and come to Atlanta, and just kind of, and I'm just like, all right, so I get it. And it was more like me wanting to start a podcast because I knew just off that one story who it could bless. Right. So me doing Lyft for Uber, I'm like, all right, well, number one, I'm in a new city. Well, better way to learn the city than to do this, right? But also, because I do music and because I'm trying to get into acting, I don't know who I'm gonna pick up that might know somebody that might know somebody.
Well, I'm gonna have to send you the story. You just sent chills down my entire body.
Yeah.
There's a story right now with a young lady, and she picked up somebody.
Oh, I already know what you're about to tell me.
Oh my gosh! And she picked up the guy. He told her basically the same thing, and she started doing the record. And now it's changed
blown
her
up.
life. It's
I asked her on TikTok, hey, which dash cam do you use?
Oh yeah, so
and she responded to me, and I was like, because I had looked at like 30 dash cams, so I didn't know which one to get. I was like, which one you use? And she told me, and I made sure I commented the same thing on like a couple of videos just in case she didn't. You gonna see this comment, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because the person gave me like $150 to get the dash cam. Yeah. Rideshare Queen is her
Rideshare Queen, that is it. And I'm not on social media, which is why I need to talk to you.
Oh yeah.
I don't come from, that's not of me. And it's so funny. I was telling somebody because I'm helping them learn how to do, I sell software with my tax software. I sell now. Because of my own story, I have a nonprofit where I help young women, specifically young women.
Okay.
But figure out how to make money even when they don't have college degrees. There's so much out here that you can't do, especially right now. But the tax business for me changed my life, right?
Oh, you need to talk to my girl. Y'all need to
transformational.
You and my girl need to have dinner.
Yeah,
y'all need to talk. Like,
it's very transformational. So I'll help people either get into real estate, get their life, because that's something that people get into.
Yeah.
But it's something where you're not going just making like, you're not working at or for retail store or a restaurant. You really make some real changes. And for me, our community needs real impact, real changes.
For sure.
And so that's amazing. I loved your story when I read it. I think somebody had to share it because I'm not going wrong.
Yeah.
But when I read it, I was like, this is what I'm talking about. But for me, it's the power of connection, right? Being in settings like this, which is the weirdest thing ever, because I just told my husband, I was like, it's true. The only person I feel comfortable with riding is my husband, funny enough. Yeah. Or myself driving. And if we are in an age now, we can get the cars with anybody, right? It's the weirdest thing, but it's where we are. We get in the cars with strangers.
Yeah.
You don't know their driving history. You don't know any of this stuff. It's stuff that we were always told you don't do. Don't get in the car with strangers. You don't even know how people drive when you in somebody's car. But what it has created is It's created an atmosphere and environment of connection
Yeah.
if we allow it to be.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's one of the things that's missing.
Yeah.
We don't have this. Everybody walks around here so disconnected,
Oh my
so in
goodness.
their own bubble,
Yes,
isolated.
Lord.
But we forget.
Yes,
And I'm a
Lord.
talker, probably because I've been in the business of sales. I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I'm gonna tell you, and talking to people is the most beautiful thing because what you find out for one, if you share your story, you're not unique, right?
Yeah.
Everybody think they go through things like, oh, woe is me. And it's like, no, it's a
Yeah.
shared experience.
Yeah.
Believe me, you ain't the only one
Yeah,
that's
you're
going
the only one.
through stuff. But sometimes talking through that with people makes you feel, hopeful. To
Yeah.
your point, the young lady said that's I had lunch with a young lady the other day. And she sat across the table from me and she just kept staring at me. She said, I hope this don't come across as 3. I had asked my daughter with that man, but she's like, "Bob." She's like, she said, but I think we were supposed to be. She said,
Yeah.
I think you were supposed to be my mentor. She said, I've been praying to God for a picture. And she said, and then out the blue, you called me. I called her to sign up for my insurance. And she's like, out the blue, you called me. And we literally were supposed to have an hour lunch. We ended up, my husband thought, I don't know what he thought, but I was wrong. We had a
Well,
lunch
for a
for
while.
5.5 hours. I met her
Wow.
at 2:00. I didn't leave until 8:30.
Wow.
That's how great of a connection. That was my first time ever meeting her, and it was such a
Yeah.
genuine connection. I
Yeah.
told her she's like my little sister right now.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
You can't fake it at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But for me, it's a reminder. It's a reminder of how everybody's connected. It's a beauty in people.
Yeah.
I tell people I'm not really religious. I'm extremely, spiritual.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to the creator, I'm talking to the creator as if, he's right here next to me.
Yeah.
Because my belief system is he's right here with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't operate from an external, for me, everything is eternal.
Yeah.
And so I do approach it that way. And so for me, when people ask, well, how do you know God comes back to you? And I tell people, it really is, I can see the face of God in people through connection, through conversation. Like it'll be something I may think something too, and God will put somebody in my life or right there in my way that confirms something that I just said or just thought about or just talked about.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very interesting thing.
No, I mean,
Your idea to do that, I think, is amazing. I when I read her story, I was like, that's amazing.
it makes you want to cry. I think I almost like got a little emotional because like you listen to her, and she's like, yo, like I didn't even have a car,
Yeah.
like I was renting a car through
Then she
Uber.
went met him. I think she ended up buying a Tesla or something.
Yeah, she was like, and it was like 6 months later, she was like,
Yeah.
yo, now I bought a car and I'm getting this and da da da. And you talking about God and like you talking about like confirmation, like that's you ask how what brought us to Atlanta. It was nothing but confirmation from God, right? Like long story short, like when we were deciding on pivoting from Airbnb because we were doing it for 3 years, we made a couple of dollars and all that good stuff. But I always knew Baltimore wasn't my final destination. Like I didn't choose to grow up in Baltimore. Like that's where I was born and that's my city, right? But I always knew like Atlanta would be it, right? It just for years, even before I met my girl, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna go, right? So then when we decided to pivot from Airbnb, I said, all right, Lord, do you want us to renew on this contract or do you want us to? So as soon as I asked, the property manager was like, yo, we don't know if we want y'all to do nightly rates. We want y'all to do weekly. We like, yo, we're not doing that. So that was like step 1. Step 2 was, and this was June, where we had to be out or renew in June. We moved in July of last year down here. So in June that happened. Then my girl like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do social media strategy. I'm like, all right. And she's like, my girl's like very analytical, very structured. Even with my podcast now, I'm like, babe, how do I post this stuff? And she's like, all right, I got you, right? She'll do all that. So then, as soon as she decided to make that pivot, she get 2 clients, and both of the clients live here.
Wow.
I was like, all right, Lord, okay. So we come down here. We looking for places. We supposed to be down here for like 3 days. We end up being down here for like almost 2 weeks. I'm like, yo, we're not leaving until we find where we want to move. Long story short, we seen like 25 places. The last place we seen, we go in there, and we live in Duluth. So, and we moved to Duluth because we got a 3-year-old, and everybody told us like Gwinnett County is like #1 for schools, right? So we only looked in Gwinnett County. Once again, when we got down here, because this is how structured my girl is, she already had 15 places we was gonna go to. That's just how she worked, right? So at 9:30 we got this one, at 11:30 we got this one, and they're like that's how she worked. And I'm like, yo, how we gonna get there? Like everything 30, 40 minutes away, you know? So anyway, so we gonna do that. The last place we seen, I remember just going outside, she talked to the leasing person, and I go outside where the property's on, it's on like an old golf course. So there's like nothing but like it's like a white picket fence. It's like just land and trails and all that.
Mm.
And I just look up and I'm looking at the sky and I'm just praying like, all right, Lord, like I need to know what's going on. We tired. We don't want to look no more. We stressed out. We got a baby with us. We doing all this with a 3-year-old. It's a lot. I'm like, is this the one I need to know right now? As soon as I ask him, I feel like I just feel the confirmation. I start crying. I get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
My girl come out and she look at me. She like, you good? I'm like, it's the one. As soon as I say it, she's like, I follow you. Whatever you say, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right. So we only apply for that one.
Mm-hmm.
We go back home. It take the process down here is a little long. It took like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So now my girl's stressing. She like, oh my goodness, this the only one that we did. We should have. I said, look, God told me it was the one, right? But now she got me a little second guessing myself. So now I'm like, all right, Lord, you got me looking crazy. Like you told me this the one, you know what I'm saying? Like we only applied for that. We came back home, all the strength of me knowing that you talked to me. So we clean out the apartment, put the Airbnb. I take a little nap. No, but the night before I told God, I said, look, tomorrow I need to know something. Because now you told me, because I was watching, I don't know if you ever heard of Miles Monroe, but he's a former, he passed away years ago, but he's a motivational speaker, all that. If you go on YouTube and just type in Miles Monroe, he's fire.
Monroe.
So he talks about, it's this one talk called The Power of Woman. It's so fire. So he talks about how it's the man's job to seek God. God talks to the man, then the wife comes to the husband, and she's basically following the man because she know that he already got confirmation from God, right? Ooh, I just got chills. Oh my goodness. So, so I say all that to say, Lord, you said that this was the one. Now my girl is questioning me, and I know you spoke to me. I take a nap. I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I get a confirmation text from the apartment. It's like your next process to get in the place is ... I showed my girl. We sat on the floor. We cried. We prayed for like 20 minutes. Let's praise them, you know what I'm saying? And now we're here. So that's the real story. When people ask me how I got here, that's how I got here, right? Where it's like,
you just and so it's funny. Last night you asked when I got in the car with the other Uber guy. Well, he's like, oh my God, that's horrible. And I said, you know what? It wasn't. I said, I don't look at life that way, right? And so that's what I'm hearing from you is the same thing. I don't look at life like if we know that we're looking for. If we don't say, why did this happen to me? Say, what am I supposed to get from this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Then you open your mind up to be able to receive. Because oftentimes people are like, you're not listening to me, God, or this, that, and the third. And it's really just us being still and just being present.
Being present.
Not being, he's gone. I take my husband through a whole lot. I thank God for that man because it's just for the grace. And he don't understand it, but.
Yeah.
But my husband one day, out of just sheer frustration, I'd imagine, he says, I'm going to church. And normally it used to be me like, oh, let's go to church. And he make every excuse in the world not to go to church, right? So he's like, oh, I'm going to church. And I was like, oh, are you asking me to go with you? He's like, well, if you want to, but if you don't want to go, that's fine too. And so here I'm like, no, I'm going to go to church. And then he says, okay, so we're members of Word of Faith. If you ever are looking for a church home, it's Bishop Bronner off of Six Flags. But you're in Duluth, so that might be outside of where you guys want to travel to go to church. But anyway, I thought we're going in there. He's like, no, we're going to go to this new church that's behind us. It's closer. I don't want no excuse why we can't go. Never been to this church before. Never stepped foot in a church. I wake up. He's like, we got to leave by 8:30 because church started at 9. Now, mind you, my husband don't wake up early. Yeah. So I wake up. It's already 8:30. My first thought was to lay down and go back to sleep. And I did. My husband was asleep. I said, I know I'm going to wake him up. He said he's not going to go. So I laid back down and I shot up out of the bed. Like I couldn't even lay on my mattress. And I was like, okay. But when I did it, I wasn't still thinking I'm going to go to church. When I did it, it startled him. He jumps out of the bed. This man jumps out of the bed for nothing. He runs, start getting dressed. Next thing I know, he says, I'll meet you in the car. And I'm thinking, this man seriously not going to church. We get to church and the pastor is after, the praise and worship, the pastor starts to tell everybody, I'm apologizing in advance. What I had prepared is not what I'm going to talk about today. He's like, I'm asking everybody to not leave, right? Don't leave because this is not going to be for everybody, but please don't leave. This man, I'm sitting there. I'm crying.
You crying before you even start talking?
Because I already, I'm like, he's about to, and I don't even believe, I used to hear people like, oh, the service was for me. I'm thinking the service was not just for you. When I tell you there was nobody else in that church, my husband had to hear that and I had to hear it. But what you're saying is about, the woman followed. He talked about I'm very independent, partially because of how I grew up, right? My husband in the last 12 years had tried to figure out how to navigate me in a certain
That's
kind
where
of
I'm at
way.
right now.
Because
Okay.
I've had businesses, I've owned my tax business longer than I've had my husband. So
Okay.
and it's difficult, and my husband's very supportive, but he supports from the back. He calls it leading from the back. And so he stepped back, but over the years he didn't realize it, but I started to resent him for it. Because the balance is what I'm learning of feminine energy and masculine energy.
Yeah.
And when you're a single mother, I carried
You're more
probably
masculine.
more masculine energy than
Yeah.
feminine energy.
Yeah.
But I realized as I get older, I want more feminine energy.
Yeah.
I want you to be like, don't worry your pretty little head about it. Like,
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
Not what we gonna do kind
Yeah.
of thing. And so the pastor spoke on that, but he was also like, as women, yes, you're being but you're doing it because you know your husband follows God, right? And you're not following your husband. You're actually doing the order, because if your husband is the head, God is the head,
God
right?
is the head.
If you know your so husbands, you gotta,
Yeah.
spouses,
Yeah.
partners, you gotta be here
Yeah.
if you want your women to be here. If you
Yeah.
want your women to follow, you want to lead. The leader you gotta be seeking after is God.
Yeah.
Then you, and then your wife will follow.
Yep.
And I thought, oh my God. So my husband, he was very emotional, but I'm in church and I'm just crying because the man was really talking to me.
Yeah.
He was like, he got into my stuff, and I'm like, I don't even cry at all because I'm a G. So when I cry, the real ugly cry, I'm like, my body don't even know what crying looks like. It's like, oh my God, what is this feeling? This emotion coming over you. But I'm like tearing up, and it was so emotional. We got in the car. I couldn't even look at my husband because I would have just lost my stuff.
Yeah.
And we got home. It was just really, really quiet. So that night he was like, we'll talk about it. And we talked about it. But it's a very interesting thing. And you're very, very insightful to already know that.
Yeah.
If you lead by that, I think that's maybe one of the biggest issues in the dynamic of Black families, honestly, is that missing piece of this. So often men are like, follow me, I'm the man, I'm the head of the house. But they forget it's a divine order to that. And you gotta be able to provide a safe space for women, especially Black women, to be able to feel comfortable enough to be able to blindly follow.
You meet my girl and you will hear her. If you heard her story, you would be like, I tell her all the time, like, you done lived a life for 5 people. Been molested, been sexually abused, been raped. Her first sexual experience was rape. Like, been married before. Like, she's been through everything. And if you seen her, you be like, and she's beautiful. Like, and most time we judge people from the outside. Not, I'm like, yo, you have to tell your story. So she wrote a book because I kind of pushed her to write a book. But I mean, I grew up in church. My mother's an elder. I was adopted when I was 2. Like, my daughter now is not biologically mine. That's a whole movie itself. So I'm when I met my girlfriend now, and I'm actually about to propose to her. So I'm planning that out now. But when I met my girl, she was pregnant. And like maybe and I was in a relationship at the time, and she's like, yo, you the guy I prayed for. Like a month later, I said, you crazy. There's a whole baby and stuff. There's no way. Right. So we go through, that was back in 2019. Then like, you got that whole story, just it's a movie by itself. But I say all that to say is that I had to become this guy, right? Like, this guy now, like, I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm in Atlanta right now asking God, like, all right, I need these finances to like really break through, because I brought my girl and my daughter down here with me. They're looking at me to change. You know what I mean? To not figure it out, but like to really do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, and I feel like, I don't know if you really know too much about the Bible, but like in the Bible, you had the Israelites that was trying to go to the promised land, right? And I feel like Atlanta is our promised land. I feel like us making that move is like, it's like I heard God say, listen, I need you to trust me enough to make that big scary move. That big scary move is coming out here. I need you to get them, y'all come down here, and then watch how I show out for you. You know what I mean? So,
well, that's beautiful. I know that I can't, I'm not a Bible thumper.
yeah.
My journey with my spirituality is I grew up, obviously my younger years, my family is Christian. My mom remarried, and my father is an Orthodox Muslim, like Orthodox. I can speak in Arabic.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's because I'm the oldest of 3 girls, so we had to call the Adhan in Arabic. My mom is very, very, my parents, my biological father and my mother are from New York. So my parents relocated from New York when I was a year old to Georgia. And so when my mom remarried my stepfather, he was Muslim, and my mom is, I don't even know how much my stepfather put up with her, but she used to fuss at him and say, okay, you can't make my daughters wrap their hair up. They can wrap their hair up if they want to. But my mom made it a point that she would still read from the Bible, but let us experience, Islam as well. So, and then, so what that does for me is it made me, when I grew up, start to question things, which I tell people the first thing is seeking knowledge. And being willing to, my one thing is I know enough to know I don't know anything at all. Right. For sure. And I'm constantly asking God to put in me what I need to know, not what somebody's putting me to know. Right. So asking questions helps us get closer to that. But anyway, it's just provided for me. I think that religion sometimes get in the way, which is why I'll denote that I'm not religious. I go to church, all the time. But I don't have a problem with walking into, on Friday to go to Juma into a masjid. Or I don't have any issues with going to a Buddhist temple. I think they all are just pathways to the Creator. There's one absolute. That is God, the Creator, over everything. I don't care what name people want to put to it. We don't even have us on this. We have no power to understand what that looks like. We think we understand, and we really, really don't. It's very, very small. The way that we are able to process information, but you stay on your path. What I was gonna say is, we manifest in God. I think one of the greatest gifts we have that we don't understand is our own power to create our own reality. The minute we don't want to experience something, God has already given us the power. What you did when you say I stepped out on faith is you activating that power to change. There's nothing that we can't want, nothing that we can't do, nothing that we can't have that we don't already have.
Yeah, because He made us in His image.
Absolutely. So if that's the case, if that's really the case, a part of it, we'd have to sit down, and I can't wait to meet your fiance and soon to be your wife, but I can't wait to meet her because it is so very powerful to have experience, because I've experienced some of what you've named with her as well. And so it is so powerful to be somebody that can rise above that, right? Because you said something earlier, our stories, contrary to what we think, are not just our story. Our stories really, we internalize things as things that happened to us. But it's really for us to be for somebody else,
be a blessing to the next person,
to share our stories, to help somebody who may not be as strong as you are to get through it, to help them get through it. So, to be able to be on the other side of that and to empower other people through your own story is probably the most beautiful thing that we have access to.
For sure.
With you. And then when we remember that God has given us the power to change our own environment at any given point that we need to. It's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna shut up because I know you got on.
No, you good. Listen, you got me enjoying this too. You know what I'm saying?
Love this.
Oh, you gotta give me your number.
I want us to stay connected.
Yeah, take my number.
Sure.
I'd rather you just text me.
Yes. Okay.
443.
Hold on, let's figure out how to get in.
Oh, you good? And I'm gonna text you. And then we actually was looking for somebody to do our taxes too, so we might, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because we ain't do last year we ain't do last year because we had a friend that does taxes and we had a falling out with her. She was on some petty stuff, so we ended up just like dead in that relationship. So we was like, we don't even want you to touch our personal stuff.
So are you a writer or?
Yeah, I rap, songwrite, act, all that. Yeah, I'll play something quick in here for you if you want to hear. So that's nothing.
My husband's also, he's Grammy nominated songwriter.
Okay.
He's one of our funny story is one of my favorite songs on Charlie Wilson's album. Before I met my husband, I used to play this song. When you say like a divine connection, my kids hated the song. I would literally on that album,
all the time.
My Name is Charlie album, I would play it like it's the only song.
Yeah.
I meet my husband one day and
he wrote the song.
He's a guitarist.
Okay.
So he pulls out his guitar, he's playing. I'm like, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And then he didn't know that I love the song.
Okay.
That he had no clue. And I'm like, after you playing that Charlie Wilson song, he's like, yeah, but that's my song. And I was like, no way. And at this point, I knew he was a songwriter.
Yeah.
And he plays for me his version because as a songwriter, y'all demo your own song.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, I love you before I even knew who you were.
Thank you.
That was my confirmation.
That was your connection. He like, I got just wait on it. Watch how I show out for you. You think this is something? You think you let a song down? Wait till you fall in love with the person that wrote. Yeah, that's crazy.
I still love Charlie Wilson's version, but on my playlist, it's Charlie Wilson's version and then my husband's version after.
But just knowing how it all. I'll play something slight for you real quick.
Okay, now
That's just one verse.
Who is the
It's just a sample that's singing in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a sample. So the producer that made the beat put that as a sample in there. So as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this song."
I love that.
And that was just one verse. This got 3
So is
verses
your
to
music
it.
already out?
So this is actually a rough draft. I do got some songs that's out, but that song I knew you was gonna like that one.
Oh my God!
So I gotta
So
redo
we
that one.
connected for a reason. Do you have a studio already that you go record in?
No, not really. I got a producer I've been working with down here, but I don't have like a. Listen,
So my youngest daughter.
I'm down here to connect.
You guys will love my youngest daughter. I already told you a little bit about her, but her fiance has worked with everybody in the business, and they have a studio as well. My daughter has been in the music business since maybe 10 years old. She has traveled all over the world.
Oh yeah. What's her name?
Her name is She was with a girl group called Brave, Brayve.
Okay.
Her manager is this guy named Lorenzo Lennon, and he works with everybody. Like anyway, everybody.
Yeah.
It was a girl group, and they were young, so that I don't know that girl groups are meant to last because it ended up being a whole bunch of stuff. And then he was the father of one of the girls, but the mom was really the issue. So the mom was their road manager.
Oh Lord.
And it was just this cattiness that happened. But my baby has been like to Amsterdam, and they performed for BET on one of the BET awards show. Like she is really very talented. Come on,
connect me. That's how I'm here.
But her boyfriend, I can't remember today, Mary. Yeah, but her boyfriend has this studio, and they were in the studio yesterday when she called me, but he is an amazing producer as well. He's worked with everybody and knows everybody in the industry as well. So I'll make sure to connect you guys.
Take my number.
My husband's in the business, but he's not in, so he's a little old school, but everybody still calls my husband to write some music. Yeah. We can't go out with somebody knowing him, and he doesn't. Like my husband, when I met him, was already out of music. Yeah. So I don't know that side of him. I know he plays guitar for the grandbabies and he'll sing in the house. But people be like, "Oh my God, did your husband sing?" I'm like, "No, he doesn't sing to me." It's like, "Oh my God, you know your husband is amazing." And anywhere we go, they're like, "Dude, I need you to write." And he's like, he's beyond it now. But I think that's his passion, and he's not really living in his purpose of passion. But anyway, that's a whole nother story by itself. But I definitely want to make sure you are connected.
Yeah, take my number.
Well. Okay, say 443.
And my name Chris, but I go by J Star, JSTARR.
Okay, so you know what? I'm a J Star, STARR.
Yeah, JSTARR. One word.
Yeah, this is gonna be weird, but I'm gonna put your name because I was sending you a text message, but I'm gonna do it so I can have it inside.
Yeah, and I'll text you right back. No problem. So I'll wait till you're done.
And then I'm gonna send you. Or actually, no. Let me just lock you in my phone, and then I'm gonna share my contact card with you.
Okay, I got it. Cool.
Chris, AKA I know my lady, my receptionist in there probably looked at her and like, "Who in there?"
Part like that.
Right. She sit at that front desk and she be monitoring everything that goes on for sure. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna share. Yeah, well, we're here. You guys are in Duluth. So I know you're on the other end of the world, but we have a secure portal. I do taxes everywhere. I have actually clients in Baltimore. Funny enough. I'm supposed to be going to Baltimore because we're looking to do a development project there.
Okay.
Interestingly enough. Yeah. But I have clients in Russia, Afghanistan. I have a huge foreign base of clients that work like 6 months here, 6 months in their own country. So I do, but I say that to say you guys don't have to come back here, which I want to meet your fiance.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. I was about to say let's set up a call because you talking about the social media for the grandbaby,
and for me as well. Because I can't.
You definitely need to get on social media.
It's funny, the things like my structure stuff, and I'll have people call me and they're like, "Miss Shaniqua, we're on everything that people are saying online now." And the part of why I don't like it is because it's so unauthentic. But I got to get out of my own head with that because I don't like when I don't feel things that are authentic. Like when I hear people, these fake gurus, it makes me want to vomit. To be honest with you, it's so uncomfortable for me to hear. But the uncomfortable part is because people are digesting information. And it's sound bites. Some of it is true, and it's not that it's not true, but everything is not applicable to everybody. So then I get a whole bunch of people come like, "Did you hear this?" I'm like, "Yes, I know this, but it's not for you because this is why." So
you might just need to be like, one of my girlfriend's clients because she'll literally do this. She'll do the content for you. So she has like clients where she has like content days, and you basically she'll come to you and she'll shoot the content. She'll put it together. She'll post it for you. She'll do the caption. She'll do all that work for you. So you'll now be on social media and you don't have to really worry about managing
And I
it.
don't actually have to be on social
And
media.
she'll be doing all that.
Yeah, because
So
the part about that gets me not liking social media is that part right there.
I got you. So I'll give her your information too, and then have her reach out to you so y'all can just do that part.
Oh man. Okay. I tried
What
to give
happened?
you a tip, and it says the trip has a. They limit y'all's tip.
What it say? What it say?
It says or add more in cash, and I don't care cash.
Just
Okay.
you guys you can Zell
I
me.
can Zell it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
my number. The same number.
Well, I don't. Do you do Apple Pay by chance?
I got Android.
You got Android.
Yeah, girl, stop playing. But I want that money. You know what I'm saying?
What about Cash App?
I got Cash App.
You do have Cash
Yeah.
App. Okay. So we'll do it by Cash App. I hate Cash App.
I hate Cash App too. That's why I said Zell. You gotta get Zell. Zell don't.
I do a lot of stuff for my business account.
Okay.
And my business account
don't
let
have
me do
Zell. It don't let you do Zell?
Not for the business. Not with Ameris Bank. It doesn't.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you listen to podcasts?
That's all I listen to.
You ever heard of David Shands?
Yes, of course.
That's my mentor, my direct mentor.
Really?
My direct mentor. He's one of the reasons we're here. So he has a community called the Morning Meetup.
Yeah.
So we're part of the Morning Meetup. We've been a part of the Morning Meetup it'll be 4 years this year. I wrote the song called The Morning Meetup for the community.
Yeah.
Now he has the Free Smoke podcast live every Fridays, and me and my girl produce it.
Get out of
Listen,
here.
don't lie. Look, I can't even make this up.
Oh my God.
And I'm writing the intro to the Free Smoke podcast right now. So I wrote it. It's funny because I had wrote.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like bro. I'm actually when I finish with you, I'm going to the studio right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's bro. What is it?
And you're writing the intro to it?
Yeah, this I had already wrote it, right? And then he's like, and he keep it real. He like, yo, this cool, but I feel like you can go a little bit harder for real. And I was like, all right. So look, let me see.
Creators have become millionaires using this tool. It's an online course creation platform that lets. I'm happy too.
Oh,
Super excited.
20 years old, right?
He talks to me.
Out a friend or family member, somebody that you love, you really need to share this out because we have some incredible entrepreneurs on today. But we got a song. Are you ready, J Star? Let's do it. Here you go. Listen.
So the studio is here?
I ain't got time for
Yeah,
small
Chambly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I call it how I
So
see
this
it,
me,
don't
this
just
the
let
intro
it
I
be.
wrote.
In a room full of witnesses where I'd rather be. You know they gon' hate, we just let them be. When you got that social proof, they can't deny receipts. Why talk when your actions speak? They want smoke, we get that for free.
Okay, we
I
here.
love that. Will you send it to me?
Yeah. But it's not so look.
Are we gonna talk about it this week too, J Star?
So he likes it, but
Do we have the other mic or no? All right, so he played me the song, and I was like, "That's good, but I think you could do better." But we took like a little poll last week, and people thought it was dope. So
I got the bars coming though. So I'm working on another one already.
another one?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
For sure.
All right, look, man. How about we
Now,
just
how
do
did
a
you
new
meet
one?
him?
Being a part of this community. So I was watching, I think EYL, and I don't know if he was on there, but anyway, I seen the community thing. Long story short, my girl ended up saying it too. She signs up for it the day before me. She comes back, she tells me like, yo, it's so fire. David was on like every chat that I was in. So I joined the next day. That was almost 4 years ago. We joined. Every time we come out here, he's the reason we kind of not got into Airbnb, but we had started taking courses. So the first time we met him, he had an event down here called Content Bootcamp, something like that. And he basically was like, "Oh, y'all so dope together." He was like, "I think he's like, y'all just need to focus on something. Y'all just all over the place. Y'all just got ideas. Y'all need to do something." Well, he's like, "All right, well, let's lock in." So we locked in with Airbnb because we had already took courses. So in the song that I wrote for the Morning Meetup, I say something about less than 30 days after he told us to do that, we had our first property, right? So just adding value to David every time we seen him, right? So now we moved down here because I felt like we was missing out on just so many opportunities. by not just being in the room. So now that we're a part of them on a meetup, we're able to go to the studio when he's interviewing people live. So now we sitting there, we just in a room. I just want to be in a room.
Absolutely.
So now we in a room one day, just being at the clubhouse, and he's transitioning from one of the hosts that was doing the morning meetup to being like, he trying to figure out what's next. I tell my girl, I said, yo, that's you. You can do that all day. She like, David, I do it. So now my girl is the host of the morning meetup.
Oh,
Look, I show
my
you. They talking
goodness.
now. Hold on. Let me show you. Because you'll probably see my girl if David not
Oh,
talking.
my goodness.
So now she's the host of the morning meetup. So now, because we've been able to be here, we're producing the whole show, that Free Smoke show.
Wow.
So I'm doing an audio pod. I'm like, yeah,
So you have every wow, you have every confirmation. It's like wow.
I'm just here to do my part. Lord, put me in the places. Like I'm like, even doing this, I'm more afraid of like not speaking to somebody because you might be my blessing. I don't know what you do or who you know or what you could do for me. I ain't trying to do this forever. This ain't the plan. You know what I'm saying? But if this is what I gotta do, if I gotta add value, because I told Dave, I said, look, you got a relationship with Rick Ross. I need that. But I'm willing to add the value before asking for that value, that favor. You feel what I'm saying? So
you don't even have to ask sometimes when you come from that when you come from a place of service first, when you come from a place of adding value.
Yeah.
Most times you don't even have to ask
Yeah.
what you'll find out. Because what happens is then they recognize it and want to give you that because you're coming from a place of value first.
That's the whole goal. You know what I'm saying? So even when he was like, yo, I like this intro, but it could be a little better. Instead of me being like, man, I put my everything into that, you know? Because that's how most people don't like to be criticized, right?
Yeah.
I'm just laughing like, all right, bet. I'm like, all right, bet. So now I added some more bars to it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just smack over it. You feel me? Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm at. Like, I want to get better, you know, and I know he's pushing me to be better. And at the same time, it's his platform. So when the show comes on, I want him to be excited for the intro to come on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be second guessing. You know, so that's why I'm at.
Give me what's your cash app?
$, TherealJSTAR, the real J Star. Yeah, don't tell everybody. Don't tell everybody. But this is my girl right here. If you can see her with the big glasses on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she would know.
Oh, she is beautiful.
Yeah,
Look at
boy
her.
right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they'll let me click on her. Yeah.
So they're live now?
Yeah, this is David talking now.
What I had planned. My gosh, like, in the okay.
So we meet every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
And again, I'm not.
So he'll have like a topic for the month. So like now it's just like a couple. Right now it's 100 different entrepreneurs on here from all over. Every day, David's gonna call every single day. So he'll even talk like he's talking now. Thursdays are Q&As, or he'll have like a guest come on and just give game in whatever like field that they in.
Yeah, send me the one though where he introed your song.
Oh, I got you.
Share that link with me.
Yeah, I got you. That's not it. Hold on, I just sent it to you. So it was literally like the first couple seconds of the, and then we every Friday. So we'll be down there this Friday too. I'm just trying to do my part, man. I got big dreams, man.
Absolutely.
I got big dreams.
I'm reading this book. It's called The One Thing.
Okay.
It is it's the guy that wrote it is Gary Keller. He's the founder of Keller Williams. But the book itself, the content of the book has nothing to do with real estate. It talks about figure out the one thing that you can do. So sometimes we're all over the place.
That's what David told you.
The one thing you can do that would start to create. What's the one thing you can wake up and do, whether every day, one thing you can do that gets you closer to what you say you want to have.
Yeah.
And focusing on that, because what happens is we put our energy, we put our time, we put our focus and energy on that.
Yeah.
She's trying to park. Okay. Well,
she
plenty of parking space.
Yeah,
so.
she was here earlier when we first came.
Yeah. Okay.
She'll be fine. Man, what you doing, man?
But pick the one thing that you could do, and the book goes through how do you get to how you pick the one thing. Very, very transformational. This is my 5th time reading it. Yeah. But every time I read it, I get something different out of it. Because depending on where you are in your life, you pick up something else in there. But yeah, the book is saying pretty much what you say. He said to you, like, find this one thing, be disciplined, be focused, everything.
Let me tell you something. With this episode of this podcast that we just shot right here. So for February, I already had my episodes I was going to have scheduled for February to come out. I gotta put yours in there. Like I think I'm gonna do I think yours will be like the 3rd episode, and I'll let you know when I'm gonna launch it, when it's gonna go out.
My episode, we gotta do an episode with me.
We already shot it.
Really?
This whole conversation.
No
Yeah, this whole
You know
conversation.
what?
This whole
I didn't even drop
what?
the pen in
No,
my
this
hand.
whole that's the whole point of this, because it couldn't have been. That's why I don't like to tell people that I'm shooting a podcast, because I don't want them to be. I want it to be super authentic, and everything that's called today that happened, nothing but authenticity, whatever that word, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I want it to be real. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you get in the car, know you about to shoot a podcast. Like, now the girl we talking about, the podcast girl.
Yes.
I mean, the Rideshare Queen. Now you can book to travel with her, right? To ride with her. Like, she has it where you can, like, actually book her, right?
Wow.
But then you're doing it just because you know what could happen,
Got
right?
you.
But
Got
now you get in being your authentic self. You're not thinking podcast. You don't know I got that. Now I get to get you at your real core. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
And now when the audience sees you, they get to see the real you, and they know it's real. Now, if I'd have been like, yo, listen, you'd have been in here like, planting your businesses. I got this, make sure you know what I'm saying? No, I need the real thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, she getting dropped off today.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got to make this happen.
Oh my! I had no clue.
So what you can do is you can send me like a picture of you.
Yeah,
so
that
be
see the for
that
real
could
sure.
so that could be the thumbnail.
I put makeup on anything. I ran out the house like
Listen.
you know why? Because when I booked the Uber, I didn't look at the time, and you were like right there, and I was like, okay.
Okay. but I mean, most of the time you'll have people that may watch the video, but for the podcast, they probably just gonna listen anyway. And that's what you want. You just want that real game.
I love that.
That real conversation, you know what I'm saying? That's it. We done talked about everything. I'm in here declining rides. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to let her leave for real. We about to be like you was with the girl at the dinner the other day.
Oh my goodness.
Your husband about to call you like, why you still?
I know, why you still in the car?
Why you still in it? Sir, I seen you come out with your coat on. You getting the top button. I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no trouble.
I love it. Oh
So nah,
listen.
I appreciate, like, this conversation
Absolutely.
has been fire.
Same
You
here.
know,
Oh my
so
goodness. Well, I'm gonna let you go so you be about your day.
let's get it.
I sent you an Apple Cash app, whatever we call
Okay.
it. a cash app.
I'm gonna have my girlfriend reach out to you.
Please.
I got you.
What's her name?
Nella.
Nella.
Yeah.
I can't wait to speak with her. Thank you.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
I appreciate you. Thank you, lady.
Okay.
You too. All right.